Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
What are we doing today?
Well, we're in a nice studio, and there's the desk right here. So I figured that we could
Make
do
a
a
PB&J?
talk show. What?
Let's just do your thing.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, well, I kind of figured we'd be doing a talk show, and so I gave our number to a bunch of random people.
Okay, let's do it.
Sweet. Welcome to LNL TV. We have questions if you have answers. Talk to me.
Hey, I'm Aiden. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty hungry.
What questions do you guys have for me today?
So Aiden, what is your favorite band, and what is your favorite album from said band?
The Deer Hunter and Antimai.
Interesting. Why is Antimai your favorite album from the Deer Hunters?
I feel like Antimai is a very good entry point for The Deer Hunter. It tells a story but isn't overly conceptual and is the most recent evolution of the Deer Hunter's musical style.
Okay, cool. What's the story behind Antimai?
Antimai is a concept album about a fictional dystopian city of the same name. The city is split up into rings, and each track sheds information on a different ring as you move closer to the center of the city.
Alright. And how did you discover this band?
I discovered The Deer Hunter through a post on a subreddit of another band, Tally Hall. The post basically just had a list of albums that all had callbacks to the first track in the last song. The album art for The Deer Hunter's Act 5 looked enchanting, so I started listening soon after that.
And then if you could share one thing about the band or album that really interests you, what would it be?
The Acts series of concept albums tells the story of a man growing up in the early 1900s and details him growing up, finding love, and going to war. It uses musical reprises and leitmotifs to tell a story.
Alright, that's all the questions we have for you today. Thank you so much. Bye!
Whoa, that was a lot of good information.
I know, right? Do you want to go ahead and dive into the history of the Deer Hunter, but then also indie rock in itself? I mean, that's kind of why we're here, right?
Yeah. The Deer Hunters began when the lead singer Casey Crenzo wanted to branch off from the band he was formerly in, known as the Receiving End of Sirens.
Yeah, he wanted a creative outlet from that first band for all of his extra stuff to spill into. That just didn't really match the vibe of the Sirens.
In 2006, he created a 6-part album known as The Acts.
6 parts? That's a lot of acts.
I know.
The central character for the acts is actually called the Deer Hunter, thus giving the band their name.
The band has been making music ever since, and their most recent album actually happens to be Antimai.
Wait, so earlier did you say 2006?
Yeah, why?
That's the year I was born. The Deer Hunter's as old as I am.
You're old. So, you want to dive into the history of indie rock?
I'd love to. Yeah, so indie rock is actually a subgenre of your classic rock and roll, which interestingly enough is a subgenre of blues, jazz, and gospel. But we'll get into that in a second.
The term indie originated in the 1980s from independent artists who weren't signed to record labels.
Yeah, the big record labels were so scared of this new and unique sound that they just refused to sign people.
Scaredy cats.
I know, right? Especially since a lot of the big names we know today are from that indie rock group. You want to talk about rock now?
I would love to talk about rock.
As I said earlier, rock is actually a subgenre of Afro-American style music.
Like jazz, bluegrass, boogie woogie, and rhythm.
Yeah, rock was actually heard in 20s and 30s style music, but it wouldn't actually get its name until the 1950s.
Some more notable indie rock bands are Arctic Monkeys, Radiohead, and Nirvana. I love Nirvana. And...
Can I say it?
They are your favorite band.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, I think that's a good place to stop, don't you?
Yeah, I have some Red Hot Chili Peppers I need to go listen to now.
Okay, you do that. I'm Lucas.
And I'm Lennon. Thanks for
watching.
Bye-bye! When searching for the perfect primate, a couple of things come to mind.
Size, shape, and even hair length are important.
You have the beautiful orangutan.
Or the mighty silverback gorilla.
Or even the Homo sapiens, which is us.
Or my favorite, the baboon. Every time I see a picture of it, I think it's gonna rip my face off.
Okay. But the primate that has fascinated us the most as primatologists is the Steven.
Actually, Lennon, we have a Steven here with us today. Let's go see him in his natural habitat.
Come on.
Hey, Stephen. Who's a good boy? A Stephen is a very rare species of primate, as he actually only reproduces every 100 years, and we have the very fortunate chance of witnessing him laying the eggs today.
Once the Steven has laid his eggs, he then needs to eat. A Steven only eats after he has laid his eggs. Steven's favourite food is similar to you and I. Steven's favourite food is pizza, but instead he eats it crust first.
The last thing a Stephen does at the end of the day is sleep. Now, a Stephen needs prime conditions to sleep. These conditions consist of running back and forth 3 times, sitting down, and finally, he stares at the sky.
It is our belief that he does this as a way to tire himself out. However, if I was one of the coolest primates, I would be pretty tired already.
Thanks for watching Steven, and more Steven.
We've really enjoyed showing you the uniqueness of this world through the Steven.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Keeping Gamers Informed, or as we call it, KGI. I'm your host Malachi, and I'm greatly appreciated to have one of my favorite co-hosts back here, Hudson Byers.
Yeah, it feels great to be back, especially after such a long break. And I think we have a new segment.
Yep, you heard right, Hudson. We do have a new segment. It's a tech reviews, where we're going to be looking at affordable as well as really effective pieces of tech for people who are just getting into gaming or haven't played in a while.
That sounds great, Malachi, and that should go perfectly with today's theme.
Speaking of, what is today's theme, Hudson?
Today's theme is all about beginner level games, so anybody who hasn't even ever maybe picked up a video game can just pick up one and play and have some fun with it.
Well, we were all beginners once, so hopefully this will give you guys some inspiration to pick up one of these games.
So what games did you have in mind, Malachi? Because I know I definitely have a few.
I think I definitely got a couple good ones, but should I start us off for today, or do you want to?
Yeah, sounds great, Malachi. Go right ahead.
Alright, well, I'm fairly certain everybody knows this first game, and it just got an update too, and that one game is Minecraft.
Wow, okay, pretty much everyone has heard of, if not even played, Minecraft, and it's definitely a suitable game for beginners to pick up.
Well, and just in case if you guys haven't heard of it before, Minecraft is a player-explored blocky environment that you have pretty much infinite terrain to run around in and survive, and there's almost infinite amount of materials to build with. You can build tools, find structures, and you can even build complicated machines in it.
Yeah, Minecraft is definitely one of my favorite games and has 100% withstood the test of time. It's rated E for everyone, and it's going to cost you around $20 to $30, depending on your chosen device.
Unless you decide to go Pocket Edition on the phone, which is about $7.
So it might be worth your time. And since you mentioned mobile games, we should talk about a game that has a great mobile edition. And I'm of course talking about the Sim series.
I think that's a really good choice for this because I haven't really ever played The Sims before, but what's it all about?
You haven't? Well, that surprises me a little. Anyways, The Sims is a world full of endless creative possibilities where you can create Sims and manage their lives. It's gonna cost you around $20 for some of the earlier games, although the Sims 4 base game is free right now on Steam and the Epic Games Store.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. For me though, there's a large group of games that I think would be perfect for anyone who's just getting into gaming. And those games are gonna be any of the Lego games. But the main one we're gonna be talking about is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Those are a great choice. I personally love playing Lego games, and I think the Skywalker Saga is a great pick. It's a third-person action-adventure game, and it's built on a brand new engine. The world is very expansive, and you can play through all 9 films in the series, excluding Rogue One and Solo. However, Rogue One and Solo characters do appear in the DLC packs. So the game is going to run you around $60 to buy.
And I do agree with you, Hudson. It's really good to end the day with and just relax and calm down with. And I do agree, it's such a good game for beginners too. Well, it's time to introduce you guys to our new segment. We have a piece of tech here that's helpful to anybody who's wanted to get into gaming. So Hudson, what's the piece of tech we have today?
So our choice of tech for this first new episode is going to be Amazon's choice of the Conchow RGB keyboard and mouse combo, which also comes with a mouse pad. This piece of tech meets our 3 requirements of being well-reviewed, aesthetically pleasing, and fairly priced at only $20. We believe this will be an excellent choice for gamers just recently getting into PC gaming.
Well, that's great, Hudson. Well, those were some amazing beginner games.
Yeah, I think these are some definitely great games to start off with.
Well, I think that's all for today's episode. Until next time, this is KGI signing off.
Hello, I'm Wolf Davidson. I'm about to go into the scare zone and touch this very creepy and horrifying creature. Alright, here we go. I'm about to touch this crawdad. Did you know that they can be over 150 million years old? Alright, I have to be very careful here. And so here we have a cockroach. So now we're going to try and find a snake. That's it for the scare zone. See you next time.
I once again interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you a breaking news report. I'm Hudson Byers, here with KJI News, Weekly Construction Update. I'm here reporting from the front of our school, and we have indeed captured film confirming that the pouring of concrete on school grounds has officially started, beginning the foundations of our school and our community. It's very exciting to see shovels breaking ground here on our educational institution. That's all for the news today. I'll see you next week. Until next time, keep on digging, friends.
My name is Brendan Hubbard, and welcome to the first episode of Choctaw's Teachers of Greatness, where I am going to showcase some great teachers that we have here at Choctaw High School. For this episode, I have the legendary, per se, legendary Miss Sindall, who currently teaches human biosystems, medical interventions, and biomedical inventions, which those are 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year biomed classes, as well as she also does things with the academic team, and also she runs the multiple blood drives that happen throughout the school year. Ms. Sindall, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to speak with me.
Of course.
So the first question I would like to ask you is, how many years have you taught here at Choctaw High School?
So this is my 25th year at Choctaw High School full time. My first year I actually taught here half a day in the morning, so I guess 25 and a half. But I've taught in the district. This is my 31st year, and all of my 31 years have been in the Choctaw and Como Park district.
Very nice. So for those of you that don't know, around Miss Sindall's classroom, there are a lot of M&M collectibles. So how did you get all of these M&M collectibles?
Honestly, it's been, I don't know, mostly students over the years who have contributed to my collection. I've always liked M&Ms. They're my kind of my favorite candy that I eat, especially peanut butter M&Ms. They are my absolute favorite. And it just sort of started and it grew from there. A kid got me one and I had them at home for a while and they started taking up too much space. So my husband suggested that I find a new place to keep them. So the other place I spend most of my time is my classroom. So it seemed like a logical place to put them. And then once kids saw them, they kind of helped and added to the collection over time. So yeah, I have quite a few.
So how did you get involved with the biomed program?
So in 2008, our district had a connection with the career tech system here in Oklahoma. They actually reached out to us and asked if we would be interested, in getting in sort of on the ground floor with biomed programming. It was in its second year when we started across the nation. So we're one of the first schools. What's unique about our program is that it's actually taught at the high school. For the most part in Oklahoma, it's taught in the career tech centers. So technically, I am a career tech teacher, even though I work at Choctaw High School. So my program is under their umbrella, and we have to jump through a lot of hoops that career tech teachers do in order to offer the program here to our students. But we're really glad that we have it here.
Well, Ms. Sindahl, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this interview.
Yeah.
We very much appreciate it, and I will say you are one of the greatest teachers
Oh.
that we have here at Choctaw High School,
Oh,
because you
thank
have
you.
been teaching here for a very long time, and plus you've been teaching while you've been dealing with illnesses, because for those of you that don't know, Ms. Sindahl has been dealing with cancer since 2018,
I have.
and if I'm not mistaken, there was a whole semester that you had to teach from your house.
I did almost all of my daughter's senior year in 2020, 2021. I literally taught via Zoom from a dining table from August until April. So being here at school is really important to me. My students are a big lift in my fight against cancer, which continues. And I appreciate all the support that I've gotten from students and staff and my administration throughout the process, and continue to get, because actually when we finish our interview today, that's where I'm headed, to the cancer center to meet with one of my oncologists, so about a new treatment that I've just started. So I appreciate you mentioning that.
Okay.
Also, can I put a plug in that I don't usually dress like this at school? This is me during Spirit Week, and I'm supposed to be a mathlete, and Mrs. Stone across the hall is my counterpart as an athlete. So please know that I don't always look this wonky at school. I actually dress like a professional. So thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoyed the interview a lot.
Yes, I very much enjoyed having you. And for those of you watching, thank you so much for watching and sticking through this. And until next time, be sure to always treat teachers with kindness.
We appreciate that.
Yes.